I want to talk to you today about disconnect from discord. We all have people that are trying to get us riled up. They complain about the company, exaggerate problems, spread the latest gossip. They are professional troublemakers. If you allow them to draw you in, before long, you'll be upset, focused on the wrong, bitter over what you're not getting. But one of the things the scripture says that God hates is when a person sows discord. That's someone that's always stirring up trouble, trying to incite you to unrest. You can be perfectly happy. You have a great job, but they start planting these seeds of discontentment. Things like, hey, you're not really treated right there. You should be making more money. Have you noticed how everyone gets promoted except you? They're not interested in your well-being. They're just trying to get you stirred up. And Paul said in Romans, I urge you, watch out for those that cause division. Stay away from them. They're not serving Christ. They're only serving themselves. Don't let them poison you. Don't let that discord get in you. You have to be careful who you take advice from. Be careful who you let influence you. Are they healthy, productive? Do they have good judgment, clear vision? Or are they discontent, bitter, living from a place of offense? Most of the people that are sowing discord have issues that they're not dealing with. They're jealous of others. That's why they talk bad behind their backs. Or they've been hurt. They've gone through things that are not fair. They haven't forgiven. They haven't moved on. That's why they see everything from a bitter perspective. Or they have regrets. They've made mistakes. They're mad at themselves. They don't want you to be happy. That's why they're always stirring up the negative. And before you get riled up, consider the source. Healthy people don't go around stirring up trouble. Secure people don't talk bad behind other people's back. They celebrate their success. Grateful people don't focus on what's wrong. They don't find fault. They're grateful to be alive. If someone is constantly disgruntled, bitter, jealous, bringing division, that's a sure sign they're not for you. Your time is too valuable to let them poison your spirit. Don't sit there and listen to them gossip about the friends they're jealous of, tell you how you're not being treated right. This other person would be a much better spouse than the one you have now. They are not healthy enough to give you good advice. Be kind, be respectful, but be gone. Don't hang around them. If God hates when someone sows discord, then I'm going to distance myself from what God hates because I need God's blessings. We need His favor. We need Him to open doors that we can't open. Psalm 1 says in the Amplified, don't sit inactive in the path of the ungodly. That means don't go to lunch every day with people that badmouth the boss, especially if you work here. Don't spend an hour on the phone with that friend that gossips about all your other friends. Don't hang out with that colleague that brings out the worst in you, convinces you how bad your life is. And it's one thing when someone wants to correct a problem. There are times we need to talk about a situation at home, at work. I'm not saying to not address issues. If someone brings something up that they're just a troublemaker, they can do it with right motives and it's helpful. But that's very different from someone that's just stirring up trouble, exaggerating the wrong, bringing strife and division. The enemy loves when we're divided. He loves when we're fighting in our homes, in turmoil at the office. This coworker's mad at the other. We're jealous of this friend, bitter over how we were treated. We're playing right into his hand. There's no power when we're divided. The power comes when we're in unity. Stay away from troublemakers. Keep your distance from people that are stirring you up. You cannot sit inactive with people that are sowing discontentment and stay in peace and have healthy relationships at the same time. Proverbs says, if you walk with wise men, you will become wise. But if you associate with fools, you'll be foolish. You're going to become like the people you're around. If you're spending time with sowers of discord, disgruntled people, fault finders, bitter, those same qualities are going to rub off on you. And sometimes the reason we're having difficulties, the reason we have dysfunction, it's not the enemy, it's the people we're choosing to be around. We're listening to the wrong voices. I've made up my mind, I'm not going to listen to gossip. I'm not going to let that poison in my spirit. Well, can I tell you what I heard about so-and-so? It's really juicy. You won't believe what they did. No thanks. I'm not going to be a participator with a sower of discord. Your ears are not garbage cans to fill with a bunch of trash. Well, Joel, what they're saying is true. You can't hide your head in the sand. Yes, but ask yourself, what is it going to benefit you? What purpose is it going to serve for you to know that? If it's only to have a bad opinion of them, then you don't need to hear it. The scripture says love covers a fault. Love covers a weakness. Is it covering or is it exposing? If it's just exposing, showing their faults, then it's not for me. I'm going to keep my heart pure. I'm not going to be a part of sowing discord, of making somebody else look bad. Proverbs 16 says, a person that constantly stirs up trouble will suddenly be destroyed. Doesn't mean you'll lose your life, but your dreams won't come to pass. You won't have good relationships. You'll miss your destiny. That's why Paul used such strong language. I urge you, stay away from those that cause division. He was saying, I implore you, I challenge you. He knew it would keep us from becoming what we were created to be. And sometimes it's just subtle things that can plant these seeds of discontentment. A friend comes up, says, my husband bought me this beautiful bracelet for my birthday. What did your husband get you? You don't tell them, but all you got was a small box of chocolates on sale from Walmart. She goes on to say, he brings me breakfast in bed every morning. He sends me fresh flowers every week. He writes poetry and takes me on picnics by the lake. If you keep dwelling on that, thoughts are going to tell you you're at a disadvantage. It's time to trade that old goat, that husband in. He's not treating you right. You don't have to put up with all of this. Don't compare your life to anyone else's. Run your race. I'll admit, I'm not the most romantic person in the world, but I'll remind Victoria, you didn't marry Romeo, you married Jolio. That's corny. If you make the mistake of comparing your situation, you're going to be disgruntled because there will always be somebody that's ahead of you, somebody that has it better, somebody that makes it look like you're at a disadvantage. But can I tell you, somebody has it worse. Somebody would gladly take that husband. Somebody would love to have the wife that you've gotten sour with. They'd love to have your job. Don't let people talk you into being disgruntled, sour. You got to put your foot down and say, I will not let these seeds of discontentment take root in my life. I will not let this poison my spirit. I am grateful for what I have. I'm blessed to have a job. I'm blessed to have a spouse. I'm blessed to be alive. If you don't stay on the offensive, subtle things can sour you. You can be coming to Lakewood, happy, enjoying the services, and a friend says, do you really like parking that far away? Don't you think the service is a little too long? That music was a little too loud? I came last week, I didn't get anything out of the message when Dr. Paul spoke. You've been volunteering there for years. When was the last time they told you thank you? It's been that long? Do you really think they appreciate you and you're still there? You know what that is? A sower of discord. Someone trying to get you stirred up so you see your situation in a negative light. Don't take that bait. We let people get us riled up, talked into being discontent, arguing with someone, having a bad attitude. Because we're sour, our relationships suffer. We don't get the promotion. Nobody wants to be around us. Are you letting someone get you stirred up, causing you to be jealous, offended, disgruntled? Recognize what's happening. They're sowing discord into your life. Don't sit inactive with people that bring out the worst. Stay away from those that are causing division.